Why is Chinese modern art so big?
I spend a lot of time in the digital art world, as you know, um, and it's bringing in all sorts of interesting people like Mickey. People don't really understand the scale of what's happening in the digital art world, and this is nice because you see these cultural niches becoming bigger, more entrenched, having bigger Lindy effects over time that most people aren't even aware of.
It's kind of like it's I tell people that it's the asset class of that generation, right? And so like for instance, I mean, I'll give an example that probably most of your audience might not appreciate because they probably don't live in China, right? Chinese modern art is massive,
Yeah.
massive, massive, massive. But for someone who's not in China, it means nothing to them, right? But why is Chinese modern art so big? Because there's a lot of rich Chinese people now, right? Who have made their wealth. And what matters is essentially the social network effect that they have within China. Oh, you have this art. That means something to that community. It might not mean to someone in America, right? So it's hard to translate, right? But in China, it's worth a ton from a reputation standpoint. So you basically grew this into a multi-billion dollar asset class, not just Western goods and culture, but basically now, so let's call it modern Chinese version of that. And it's the same with crypto. And if you're a tourist or not even inside crypto, you look at these NFTs and you go, I don't know what that means, right? Because it's not your culture. And so it's strange to you that someone would buy something, basically, a picture that you could save, so to speak, right? But for people in China, it's everything, and I would argue that translates into all sorts of culture all over the world. There's American culture, whether it's a Warhol or maybe Picasso's, in Europe, or where it's very valuable there but not valuable elsewhere. It all has to do with what it means to your particular social groups and networks and Lindy effect, as you say, right? So yes, it's all the same, right? And if you understand that, then that's why you buy it.